girls that you're working with, girls and boys.
Girls and boys.
Where are you going with this now? What's going to happen?
Well, for the past 4 years, I've supported many organizations, whether it was CRY, UNICEF, or smaller ones like these, like Dreams Home or Sakshi. But the thing is, with this organization in particular, with Dreams, the reason we've taken so much initiative with them is because recently, as I said, one of the girls was molested, and instead of helping out, they threw them out on the road. So it was a very sad situation and no one came to their help, so I've just taken it on to find them a new home, and people have been just pouring in from all over and helping, and hopefully within the next couple of days we'll have a new place for them.
So how did you find this cause? What happened?
Well, when he started, this gentleman, it's an unbelievable story. It's just one social worker who just said it has to start with him somewhere. So he started to just go and, pick kids up from the road, find out, if they had parents, and if the parents didn't want them, it became 1, 2, and now it's 22 kids over the past 4 years. So in the beginning, I just began to help them for like maybe putting some of them in school or like just getting the education done. Which has now turned out to be a fantastic organization. Just find these kids and give them a future. Most of them were begging on the roads. You could have seen them in a car, maybe on the signal. And now, like, they go to school, they get 90%, and they all love each other, and they're always smiling, and that's the best part about them.
So they're like family. They found the support.
Yeah, and frankly, I call them my kids.
But they're homeless, all of them.
They all are homeless.
What are the causes? What do you say to young men and women who are watching you, who look up to you, who want to do something? Where do they start, Sameera?
Well, see, I'll tell you, I'm being really honest. When I joined films, I was also quite a brat. I'm the youngest of my 3 sisters, and my family and everybody spoiled me quite a bit. From morning to night, it was all about me, what's the new lipstick, what's that new fashion statement, and really it was just, I felt that I had the biggest issues in the world, as everybody does, as every teenager does, as every youngster out there thinks that, okay, these are the pressures we have. And I think around 3-4 years ago, when my mom started to involve me, in the beginning I was like, oh well, maybe I don't know, and then it actually came from within when I began to really spend time with cancer kids. I mean, they got no hair, and with the chemotherapy, or you look at these kids who can't hear, and then we used to just raise funds and get them a little earpiece, and that's it. Their lives would change, and the smallest little things you do just touch their lives. And this is not bullshit. This is really something that you can do. So as I said, this is not bullshit. This is the reality. It starts somewhere, and you have to make it start with you. It could be the smallest thing. It could be maybe your milkman's son who wants to go to school, and then you maybe just put that guy through school. It doesn't have to be going out there and doing a big thing or starting. It can start really, really small. You just have to start somewhere.
There's such disparity of wealth in our country. What do you feel about it? Is it going to change anytime soon, Sameera?
I don't think so. I think over the past 50 years, today I think we celebrated a couple of weeks ago, we celebrated Independence Day, and everybody was talking about patriotism, and all I felt like saying was, over these past years, where has there been real independence and real enlightenment of people, wherein justice is actually done to like people who really try to work hard, whether it's the middle class, the upper middle class, or whether it's the poor. It has just been, India is emerging as a powerful country, but towards what effect? Where the rich are just getting richer, and as I said, I mean, there's that gap, and that gap just gets wider and wider. And I really don't think that much can be done as of now. Everybody's struggling, everybody's trying to make a living, and I think that that gap, in my opinion, just cannot be filled.
You obviously have a very kind heart. When you're traveling in lap of luxury and you have nice things on, and these little children at traffic lights approach you, what does your thinking mind say to you? What do you want to do?
Well, the thing is, the reality is that it's a racket. If you even see the kids that beg on the road, it's very sad, but their actual There are these heads who handle groups of kids, and actually when they're born, even maybe break their hands and legs. It's a racket. So when I see it, I for that moment when you feel bad and you want to give money, it's actually not the thing to do, because at the end of the day, you don't even, I mean, these kids don't even end up getting that cash. It goes to somebody else. So what I think is that, I only think that if people would actually fight the system and start to go to the root cause of why this is happening in the first place. You can't take out poverty like overnight. You can't just help one child by giving him 5 rupees or like some food and say, I've done my bit. I think the point is, it makes me sad because I think it's at a very grassroots level, and I think that should be addressed.
Do you see yourself in the future being involved with politics?
Well, I think politics is it's a very powerful way to reach out, but it's also very it's something that maybe it's exciting, but at the same time it's got a lot of paraphernalia that comes with it. I would say I rather use my star power, I rather use my name and try to assist in something. I really don't think getting into politics would solve any situation.
Well, Sameera, you don't come from a film background. How early in life did you feel films is what I want to do?
Well, I really never wanted to become an actress. So that's what's really funny. I mean, everybody says, you know, oh, I'm sure you always grew up thinking of it. But the truth is that I was an introvertish kid. I couldn't even go in front of the drama society and go on stage. And I remember trying to audition, and I had complete stage fright in college. I couldn't say a word. And it just happened that my last years of college, I did a music video called Ahista Kije Baate. It was a ghazal, it was a very simple song, and I just did it for a lark. I actually did it because it was shot in Australia, and I wanted to go to Australia. So it just stumbled. I think films found me, to be honest. I didn't run after films. And it's now this love affair I'm having that I'm still love and hate. I still don't know if I'm cut out for it.
I've spent about an hour with your family so far, and how it just seems like, knock on wood, such a fun home to be in. Tell us about your years growing up.
Well, I have 2 fantastic sisters. They're like supermodels, and I consider them the hottest ones in the house. So growing up with them, I was very shy because I felt that I was actually quite plump. And as I said, I was very quiet, so I was the baby of the family. And everybody looked at me and said, oh, you know, she's going to be all pampered. And that's why I think they're still in shock when they see me in films. So it was a very sweet childhood, always, you know, babied, and my father, you know, making sure I get shielded from reality. My mom having to deal with 3 girls, not a joke. So I think it's been very sweet, and we're very tight-knit.
You worked with Bengali cinema, you worked with, of course, Hindi cinema, and also from the South. Could you tell us what are just the basic differences in this 3 cinema?
Well, the thing is, with Bollywood, it's very masala, it's very namkeen, you know, it's all about the lights and the glamour and the clothes and the drama. I think compared to that, when you see Bengali cinema, which is, you know, more into the national award leagues, or like where it gets more appreciation and respect, I feel the major difference is that when you act in Bengali cinema, you don't have any lights, you don't have any glamorous outfits or makeup propping you up. So it's just you and your character, and that is where it's the true test of whether you can act or not. And I think that's what really makes both the cinemas stand apart. They have their own, high points. Today, the rickshawala recognizing, he recognizes me from some hardcore song I've done in like a Bollywood film. But today, overseas, my Bengali films are recognized, especially after we won the national award this year.
What about the language? Do you speak Bengali?
I don't speak Bengali, but I had to learn it from scratch.
You did?
Yeah, and the same thing goes with South, with Telugu, Tamil. I learn all these languages for the roles.
And how tough is that preparation?
I think it's just pressure, and at that moment, it's almost like you're back at school and you have to learn all these lines again. So even after each take, I have to run back and start to mug up, the lines, and it's very difficult.
A movie like Cow Purush really makes you stand out as a serious actor versus commercial cinema where you're really pretty and there's other selling points. So are you looking for more roles like that?
Well, I recently did a film for Sameera Reddy, which for me was an extension of what I've done in Bengali cinema. This film was for a social cause. It's for AIDS, and again working with an international director like Sameera Reddy just made me realize that now, I mean, it's about doing good cinema, serious cinema, and now doing cinema for a good cause. So I think it's like a it's like a role effect wherein one just leads to another, and I'm hoping to do more serious cinema now.
Media sometimes, when you're in India, you watch, they cover so many things that are already getting a lot of attention. When you watch news or pick up the newspaper, do you wish that this attention was probably given somewhere else and it would probably help thousands of people?
Well, I don't think, I remember always thinking that the media is always out there to sensationalize and for their TRPs. But today, recently when I reached out to the media for help with the Dreams Homes with the children, I have to say that the help that I'm getting is because the medium I used was the media. It was because it was front page. It was because people made a noise about the fact that a girl was molested and this was the issue and the government needed to do this. So suddenly I had government officials and suddenly I had corporate people and everybody backing me. So I say yes, they do spend time on like absolute bullshit, but they also spend time helping people. As I said, this was a great example. So I don't point fingers. I say, there's two sides to every coin.
Are most of your friends in the film industry thinkers like you are? Do you feel there was no need for this? I mean, how do you feel? Because you obviously are a thinker.
Well, you can't judge anyone, and I don't judge anybody in this world. I think the way I think is the way I think, and that does not necessarily mean I'm right or you're right. So, frankly, if somebody doesn't even want to really think, it's their, it's who they want to be.